Hi, I'm Terry from Makeup Magic, and welcome to another How to Do Beauty Makeup. Today I'm with Jennifer Corbin, and we are shooting with JP Morgan, and we're going to be doing a beauty makeup, and she's going to be out in the rain. It's going to be pretty cold on her. So I like to start with my little Paw palette. This way it's easy, you put things on it, and you have it right next to you at all times. And I'm going to start with some concealer. I'm just going to do a little bit of concealer under her eyes, and actually I'm going to go all the way around her eyes to get rid of any red. I'm going to blend some liquid foundations because she has really nice skin, so I don't really need to use a cream foundation. I'm going to use the liquid foundation. I'm going to mix a little bit of MAC, and I'm going to mix a little bit of L'Oreal True Match. I actually like it. It has nice coverage. I mix these two colors together. You always want to check like towards the back of her neck just to make sure that we match the chest area. You always want to do the neck, because the neck is always going to be whiter than the face because it really doesn't tan. Now, I like to go around the edge of her face with the same darker kind of a color that I'm matching with her chest. Make sure you get the ears, especially if you're doing any kind of an updo or if the fan is going to be blowing. I like using a foundation brush, but you can use a sponge and get just as good as coverage. And I like to take the lighter color that I have on my palette and do the T-zones. When you're doing foundation, it basically becomes a blank canvas, so you have to put your highlight and your shading back on. So right now I'm doing a little bit of highlighting with a lighter foundation color. And I kind of mix the two colors together. Go back over top of the concealer. I'm going to go back over top of her eyes with that little brush. And underneath. So I'm adding color back to where I did the concealer. So next I'm going to go with a cream blush. At the end I go back over it with a powder blush just to kind of pump it up. When you're blushing, you want to go from the ear straight down towards the lips, and then just kind of go over the eye, the center of the eye. You don't want to bring it too far or too low, because then she'll either look like a clown or her cheeks will look like they're dragging down if you let the blush go any further down. This is translucent no color powder, and the reason you want to use a no color is because the more that you end up powdering, it's going to do a buildup and you're going to end up being muddy. And you're going to be putting color onto the face, and you don't want any color. And what I'm doing right now is I'm setting her foundation, knocking down any shine. So I have my little concealer brush. See these lines that are right in here where the foundation's kind of set in from her opening her eyes? I'm going to smooth that out. I'm going to have another fluffy brush. And I'm going to take some powder and just go right in there and powder it. Make sure you pat it really good so that when you're doing your eyeshadow doesn't stick to a moist surface. And I'm going to do the same under the eyes where the foundation has settled. But this time I'm going to actually put a bunch of powder under here. And I'm putting all this powder under here, not because she has circles, not for a highlight, but in case any of the eyeshadow drops down. That way we can easily wipe it away and we don't have a big mess later. And I'm going to go with a darker brown. I'm going to go right here in this crease. Since we're doing a smoky eye, I'm going to put it right here in the corners. And I'm going to go back into the same dark brown. And I'm just going to make it a line here. Taking another little fluffy brush. This one's a bobby brown eyeshadow brush. And I'm going with a little bit of a peach shimmer eyeshadow. I'm going to go right here on the top of the eyelid. And I have a matte white eyeshadow. I'm going to go up in here. I like to use a matte color up here because the cameras reflect that. And this is one of my favorite eyeshadows. It's a Laura Mercier Sundown. It's got a little bit of a shimmer to it. And now I'm just going to buff it out so that there's really no sharp line here. I always balance on their face, so if they end up jerking or sneezing or doing anything, I'm not going to end up poking them in the eye. And I'm going to add kind of a rust color. She's got these piercing blue eyes, so I'm just going to add a little bit of that into my eyeshadow here. My favorite is the MAC Carbon. It's basically the blackest black of the eyeshadows that I have found so far. And I'm going back in that little triangle area to give it that smoky look. Give it the cat eye dramatic. I start with a line on where I want it to go, and then I blend it upwards into that little triangle. And I have another angled brush that I'm going to do her eyebrows with. And I like to do brush strokes so it looks more natural than just a harsh line. And I mix a couple different colors together because your hair all has different shades in it. I like to dip my angled brush in water so it makes the shadow come out even a stronger color. So now I'm going to paint on my eyeliner with her. And I lift the eyelid a little bit just to stretch the eye so I can get right next to the eyelashes. I put a line here just so when I put the false lashes on, there's something that's underneath it, and I'll go back over top of the false lashes afterwards with another line, with a liquid liner. And I have a Rust by La Femme makeup, and I like to mix it with the black under her eyes. It really pops the blue, and I'm just going back in here and adding some of that rust just to help blend. Now if you can see where some of this eyeshadow dropped down, there's a whole bunch of brown that's all sitting right there. I take my powder fluff and just brush that right away. I'm going to add a little bit of this MAC, and this has just a really nice shimmer, so I'm just going to go over top the whole eye with the shimmer. And it has a really nice kind of a shimmery white in here. So I'm going to go with this white shimmer and just blend it all through. I'm going to put some eyelashes on that are longer on the end. I'm going to measure the eyelash on her eye first. Use tweezers because your fingers are just too big to get in there. So tweezers are the easiest way. So I'm going to put it on here, I'm going to measure it. Now I know exactly where to cut it. The extra here, but I'm going to save it because I'm going to use it. And now I'm just going to use some duo adhesive. You want to make sure that it gets a little tacky. Get it set up. So I'm going to set it here for a second. Now I'm going to pull out the next one. And since I've already measured this one, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5 little knots of hair. And I'm going to set it right on, kind of on the eyelash, on the skin, as close to the eyelash as possible. And it's nice if you hold it and roll it while it's still wet, because that'll make the eyelashes go up. The excess that I have, I'm going to add it in over here at the end just to double up the lashes. So it gives a little bit more of a flare on the end, a little bit darker. This is one of my favorite tools. This is from Tweezerman, but they don't make it anymore. It really bums me out. So I take this and close, and I can pull a little bit with the eyelashes. And this way you don't get any mascara onto the eyes. What I'm doing is I'm gluing her natural eyelashes onto the false lashes. I'm going to wipe away all the powder. Okay, I have a liquid black eyeliner. I use basically any black eyeliner. I'm just going right over top of the edge of the eyelash, just to basically cover the band. And I'm going to take this little brush, and I'm just going to buff out the line so it's not just a sharp line here. And I've got this smolder, and I'm going to go right on the waterline here. If I wanted a more smoky, severe look, I would add more black in here, in this little triangle area. Now normally with a smoky eye, I like to do a light lip. I outline her lip with red. And red is really difficult to work with because it stains. I like to have the model keep her lips closed because it makes the lips a little bit sturdier for me. So you really got to make sure you get everything. Now I'm going to get a different brush, and I'm going to actually add a little bit of gold shadow with another lip brush. Alright, so here is our Glamour Makeup. She's probably going to end up getting her hair a little wet, so we're just going to do a little bit of a PC hair, but most likely with as much water that he's got going on this shot, she's bound to get wet and singing and dancing in the rain. So until next time, here's our beauty.